I'm cold.
You ever wonder what a wholesale deal actually look like? Well, today we're gonna be breaking down details and answering questions from you guys about a deal that we've done, and we're gonna let you ask questions as we give you all the details and provide all the ins and out of how this particular deal went down. So I'm here with my guy Cordero, and I'm gonna let him decide which deal we're gonna break down. We're gonna talk about it, kind of give you like the lessons that we learned, how you could take what we learned, and implement it, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
how you feeling today, man?
dude, I'm feeling good. We got some motion. We got some motion. You know what it is. Same old stuff, different day. Just following up with these sellers, following up with these buyers. We going hard, and now, thanks to Byron, we are premier. You know what I mean? We are premier. We got the investor lift, and that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm inclined to say about it. You know what I mean? That's all I can say is that investor lift. We on another level. Um,
Yeah, trying to get on another level. We're gonna see what we can do with it though.
yeah, but I've been hitting up buyers and sellers today. But dude, honestly, I got a couple deals. Shout out to Bobby Mack. Bobby Mack been hitting up the
Mac,
Discord.
man.
See, Bobby Mack taking full advantage of the Discord, Bobby.
Yeah, by Mac be hitting it up though.
Bobby Mack know what to do with it. If you get Bobby Mack the ball, Bobby Mack know what to do with it. Now, and so I got a couple deals. You want to do a deal that we've done together, or can it just be any deal?
Nah, just any deal. Any deal you can think about.
I got some crazy deals. Listen, I've been wanting to tell people this is almost like what is it, wholesale real estate story time when they be like, tell you a story about a deal.
Yeah.
Man, I had, this one deal. I could tell you, I could break down a deal with the racist seller deal. I
Oh
could
man.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. The hoarder guy. Oh, I don't know if I want to talk about that guy. Flashbacks. We give me I'm gonna let Byron pick the hoarder guy, the racist seller, or
I would say something that maybe that you done recently though, like something that you done recently, so they can gain an insight from like kind of this market and what you've been dealing with lately and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
uh, man, we could talk about Cassandra because we didn't. I don't think we broke
Yeah,
it down.
yeah, that's the good one right there.
Uh,
Or we can talk about shoot. You want to talk about the two failed deals or the
no,
three failed deals?
nah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
the three failed deals kind of happen all in a row. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about how they made this much money, that much money, this and
yeah.
that, but nobody don't talk about all the deals that fall through. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
So, you
dude,
know what I'm
dude.
saying? And what we probably could have done to save the deal, what you could have done to save the deal, stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. What you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's prime. I can't remember necessarily there. Oh, okay. The lady. So we got a lady. She came from Texas. I don't think it's necessary that I say her name anyway. Uh, she came from Texas. We texting people in Clarksville. She came. I jumped on a call with her. She came through as a lead, so I jumped on a call with her. I was talking with her, going back and forth. She said she wanted a certain price. I can't remember like those
Hey,
numbers.
let's not graze over that call though. I remember that she was at work. She was like talking to people at while she was at work. Yeah, you was sitting there listening to her deal with her people at work, which is crazy.
Nah, because the calls got progressively crazier and crazier. If I'm being honest, they got progressively. This particular lady, they got like progressively. Like she worked at like I don't know. I want to say like a hospital or like a receptionist at a dentist office.
Yeah, she was like, "Hold on, no, ma'am, you can't do this because we don't do this way."
And I should have known. I should have known right there. But she was also like she was giving that like professional work vibe, and then she cut back to me. Oh yes, hi. Yes, I did text you about the property. Yeah, this is what I need. I need this number or this number. If y'all go look at it, just let me know what y'all can do. And the property was like it was hers. She owned it, but she wasn't living there. And I think tenants were in there, and they were on their way out the door, or they had just moved out, so it was sitting vacant, right? Um, and so like I'm talking with her, just that first like what I call the discovery call. The first time, whether you get them on text or whatever, the first time you kind of talk to them over the phone just to figure out what they got going on, what's the real situation. And she told us to call her then while
Yeah.
she was at work. So I called her. She was just like, "Yeah, I need this." Kind of trying to talk calm to me. And I was like, "Okay, well, we're gonna go over there, look at it, and then we'll let you know." Right? I forget which buyer. Yeah, and I remember we had a couple buyers, but I think it was ultimately Rich, who was interested in this one.
Yeah.
Um, there's some details I'm probably hazy on, but ultimately we got the buyer in there. Went to go look at it. They were cool. They said, I'm throwing out numbers. I don't think these were the exact numbers, but I think she was asking 200. They said that they could do. No, she was asking 210. No,
Yeah.
that's what it ended up being. She wasn't originally asking that, by the way. She was asking 200. They said I could do 190. And so we like, that's close enough. Let's start putting some stuff together. Let's make it work, right?
Yeah.
And I'm calling her. I'm like, well, we need to call the buyer, make him come up to 200, call her, get her down to 190. Let's get them to swap places. Something to that effect. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's something like that, right? And she's calling me like, okay, we can do that. And so we had it right there on the cusp. We had her under contract. No, she was at 210, 205 actually.
Yeah.
And then I talked her down, talked her down, talked her down. I think either I was talking with the buyer or maybe Byron or Mika was talking with the buyer to talk him up, talk him up, talk him up. And we're going back and forth. And all the while we're trying to work the deal, like actually work the numbers out, I think we actually had her under contract. We went on and locked her up at that 205. And then we saw it. And then we was just like, man, well, we're going to need this adjustment. And all the while we doing all of this, her own personal life started to unfold before her very eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
She was living somewhere else. She was living somewhere else, and I don't know. I guess she had got evicted or something like that. No. She was living somewhere else. Her lease was about to be up there, and she already had a contract on another property, right? But
I
that
don't know. Was
no,
it?
it was that.
Oh,
She was
okay. I
about to
thought
buy
she was
that
moving like
property.
with a dude or something.
That's
I
that
thought.
was like who she was living with or something like that. But she had it
Oh,
under contract. I didn't know this as it was unfolding. I didn't realize this, or she didn't tell me this until the end, right?
yeah.
And so I just know this is what was happening behind the scenes. She was trying to buy another property, and she was going to sell this one and use the funds to purchase that one. We're already under contract to close on the property. I think I got it down below 200. Still needed her around that 190 to go ahead and execute. I think we got the buyer at 200. He finally was up to 200. And just trying to make it work. I think she was at like 198 or something like that. We like, it's 2,000 spread. We gonna need some extra meat. Um, and as that's all happening in her life, she's just like becoming, what would you say, more and more erratic, less and less compromising, less and less just like normal. She was just being super aggressive. Also, another,
Yeah.
she actually had the reason why she was trying to be so demanding too. She actually had the property listed at some point before all of this, and the real estate agent, uh,
Oh, she owed them money. That's
she
right.
owed them, she owed them money, right? And she owed them like $6,000 because she was still under contract with them. And that just we end up making a joke about it. Like this lady, she just signed anything you send her. She just signed
Yeah.
anything you send her. Just sell the contract, she just sign it. And then because she doesn't realize, I think she thinks if she signs it, then she doesn't realize that she's obligated to, to that agreement. She clearly doesn't. As we get through all of this, you're going to realize that she clearly had no idea that she was obligated. Um, and so we're negotiating back and forth. I'm trying to get her down lower to make it work. I don't think the property wasn't just trash, but it needed some, it wasn't just tip top shape. And again, someone had just moved out of it, so it was lived in. And we got the investor up. She was just like playing hardball. I need this and I need that. And then it got to a point where I was trying to talk her down on the price, and she was just like, you know what? No, I don't. It was like I could talk to her 1 second, 1 hour, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna send it over. She signed, and then I go do something. I call her back the next hour, and she's changed. I don't want to sell it no more. I don't want to
Yeah.
sell it. Just send me the cancellation. I don't want to sell it. I'm like, listen, man, we're kind of far along. We've already sent our our appointment specialist to go look at the property. We've sent our investors. We've done some due diligence. Like we spent time and energy on this property. Shout out Jade, man. To go ahead and do our due diligence. We've invested ourselves in this. We got earnest money. We got this up at the title company and everything. So, you know what I mean? She's like, no, I just want out of it. Just send me the cancellation. And then instead of explaining to me what she had going on, she's like cussing at me. Like I'm talking about high level
High
fussing,
level cussing.
high level going in, just talking crazy to your boy, just about anything. I'm gonna this and that and this and that the other. I'm like, ma'am, listen, I understand. You can cancel it. I'm saying, I'm trying. She's telling me to cancel. I'm trying to explain to her, ma'am. We're like, it's possible that we can cancel it, yeah. But just because you want to doesn't mean we want to. You're under like we can't do that. Otherwise, it's just like we could just not pay. We could just get people under contract and just go about and say, get you to the closing table and be like, you know what? We don't want to buy this no more. Or we don't want to buy this at this price no more. We want a different price and just demand it. So there's a reason for contracts. It states what I'm obligated on my end and what you're obligated on your end. That's the purpose of it. And just because you want something different doesn't mean you could just make up your mind and say it's going to be different like that. No, two parties has to agree. I'm trying to explain that. Some people you talk to, you want to explain, they just don't want to listen. They cutting you off. Everything you say. Blah, blah, blah. No, I'm like, ma'am, listen, understand. Oh, you gonna cancel it. You can cancel it. I'm like, ma'am, what I'm trying to say, no, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm like, man.
She was wild, man. Like, but you would send her something and she was signing immediately. I mean, as soon as you send it, like you hit the send button, it bounced, like you get an email pop right back to you. It's like, oh, that ain't signed.
Like, ping pong. And I'm like, listen,
but that would be right after she just went off on Cordero. Like she would go off on him. And was like, hey, look, we'll send you over this, we'll go ahead and change it. We'll send it over to you. We send it and boom, bounce right back. We're like, what in the world?
I ain't finished your sentence, ma'am. I just sent you over. What? Hold on. What are you just cussing me out? Man, I'm telling you. So, like, very bipolar. She was going in and we're going back and forth. And then the thing is, she was like, on one hand, she was making it seem like she just couldn't do it for that price and she just needed more money. And like, okay, do you just need more? Like, and then she was just like, I can't do it. And so I'm thinking she just saying, okay, I was like, man, okay, you can't come down. We just gonna have to try to make the buyer come up. If she just want to stay at the 197, then all right. She like, nah, it ain't I just don't, I'm not selling. I'm not selling at all. And so ultimately that's when she started to tell me, like, after giving me a good cussing a couple of times, she called me late one night. I was like, ma'am, we're under contract. We are going to purchase this property. We need to uphold our end of the contractual binding agreement. She called me back and was just like, listen, I'm sorry. Called me back all calm. Oh man. She had a kid in the background. And the kid was like, hey, and she just like, she was trying to talk to me calm, but I heard her like spaz out on the kid, and I was like, oh man, brought back flashbacks back to my childhood. But
Yeah.
I hope that kid don't get no just unmerited, unwarranted whooping just
Yeah.
because
so,
because
so, so the last thing you want is for a kid to get an unwarranted whooping.
because you there, you just being a kid.
So you'd have been there. So you'd have been there.
Dude, boy, just come. Boy, you ever get a whooping for being hungry? You should have been hungry. You know you shouldn't have been hungry. You know, dude, I'm telling you,
Man, that's just so funny. Man.
I'm trying to get this lady. I'm trying to get the house.
So you worry about the kid. You like, man, don't get that kid no unmerited whooping, man. So I done had enough of those for everybody.
I'm like, at that point, I heard a kid. I was like, oh, let me. Because when she started trying to talk calm to me, I can tell she only had certain level of reserve of calmness.
By man, we all been there.
You know. So I was just like, oh, not the baby, no. So she only had a little bit running up. Dude, oh my goodness. Listen, you struck a nerve.
Oh man. Y'all wilding today, man. Oh, y'all wilding out today, man.
She had this much patience left, and she was trying to give it to me because she knew she had been wrong. She cussed me out, hung up. I called her back. The conversation ain't over, or she would even call me back sometimes. And then she ended up calling me back later on that night. I guess she had got off work. Okay, I am sorry about earlier, but I cannot sell you my house because I had another property I was going to buy, and I'm not living. That fell through, so I can't sell the house. So send me over the cancellation. I'm like, I'm so sorry to, I'm sorry to hear that. I know things come up. I understand that things happen, and it can be very frustrating. Over this past year and some change, 2 years, since a lot of people been going through stuff. Not even just real estate, but it's the inflation, the interest rates affect everybody. It's like a ripple wave through the economy of stuff falling through. Just things are becoming more scarce. So I'm just like, I absolutely understand. But I was saying, man, it's just like, I get it. You had a property that you were going to buy, and that one fell through. But one, you still under contract for this one, and you didn't tell us anything about the other one. We could have put a contingency in the contract for you. Yeah. If that was the case, we're not heartless individuals. But you didn't say anything about it. Now you're telling me, but it's just like, ma'am, you can still get you a place. Like she acting like she about to be homeless. Like, no, that's not how it works, ma'am. You sell this one, you got money. So you got options. You can go get you a place. You can go rent any place in this area for what she was about to make on it, as opposed to what she told me she owed. I'm like, lady, you got to have plenty of money to go.
It may have been a situation though where she was like, she couldn't get what she wanted, or somewhere she wasn't going to be able to qualify or bring enough cash to the table. Well, not cash to the table. Her credit may have not been in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So even if she had the cash, she wasn't going to be able to get it done. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely, I think what it was. I see what you're saying, but I think what it was
happened. Like something happened. That's why she started cutting up. You know what
I'm
saying?
That she got and you're right too. What you said, it was another thing too. It was like I think the property that in question was like owned between her and somebody else or something else. It was like where she was living at also kind of like frustrated her. So she was like pushed like I gotta get out of this situation and then to the situation. But I think just from talking to her, I think the biggest thing was she was so like people get so like they set when you set expectations, people get tied to it. It's why I say whatever you set in the beginning, they will be okay with it. As a matter of fact, even if a better option come along, they still just tied to the expectation because people just want what I expect. I want what I expected.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
human thing, and I think so. It wasn't even just the fact that because again, she could get a place anywhere with what she owed and what she was gonna walk away with. This even after paying that realtor off the 6,000 that she owed the realtor, she was gonna get some enough money to like you can get you a decent part. She was making it seem like she was about to be homeless, and I'm like, ma'am, no, you're not. That's not how it
Yeah.
works. Matter of fact, if that's the case, I'll trade places with you. Give me the amount of money you're gonna
It
make.
may have been like, you're not in an apartment complex or something like that where you done told people you gonna be out and then you supposed to be out and because you thought you was gonna move somewhere else, but then you
Yeah.
didn't move somewhere else. That's probably what she was in between that right there too.
No,
You know
like
what
you
I'm
said,
saying?
it was something with a person. Like she was, I think she was like staying with a dude. It was a dude, like a like
Yeah.
new.
They
Uh,
want her out. Whoever it was wanted her out.
it was a she had a push in a pull.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
For sure, for sure. And so ultimately life started to happen to her. So she got erratic and she tried to like be calm. You know, she tried to muscle me at first, bully me, demand it. I'm like, lady, that's not how that works. You think I'm silly? And then
Yeah.
she tried to be calm. Well, um, this happened and this happened. And so send me the cancellation agreement. I'm like, lady, first of all, listen, we fully intend to deliver on our end of it. I think we ended up getting the buyer to come up. No, the buyer ended up saying, "Well, I can't do this, but I got another buyer who can." And this is where Byron lost all hope in dude. This is where Byron, yeah, I lost all hope in him because I said, "Hey, man, we're gonna
Oh
need to
yeah.
pay earnest money," and he was just like, "I can't do that." I said, "You can't do,"
Hmm?
but I got a buyer. I'm like, all right, all right. And so we ain't done a deal with him since, but uh,
Yeah.
she was just like acting like she didn't want to sell. We had everything at the closing table, and she was doing all of that. And I was just like, man, I mean, I'm not heartless, but ma'am, you can't just do all of that, and you better not put your hands on that baby. Don't be whooping that kid. And I ain't say all of that, but I'm thinking like, ma'am, I'll talk with my team and see what we can do. And then ultimately, we were just trying to go back and forth. She was acting like she couldn't sell it. She wasn't going to. And we had a few other deals we was working on. Like in this same time period, we had a whole other deal we was working on, we was under contract with that also fell through in a similar way. And then we had another deal that actually we ended up closing on. I think we had two other deals that we closed on. And then another one that fell through, and then this one. And so we were just like, all right, well, we're gonna give it some time or something like that. And I think we was like working on all of those other deals and thinking we need to file a cloud the title. Is what we need to do. We need to go ahead, cloud the title, and for those of you who don't know, if you don't know what it means to cloud the title, that means you can file at a title company. And if I'm not mistaken, preferably you're supposed to do this at a different title company than the one you're closing with. No, I think you actually go to. I've done it. I've done it before, but I rarely do it, and I need to do it more. Apparently, I've lost. This story should be prime example why I need to do it more. But you go to like I think it's different depending on where you're at. A title company can help you do it, but ultimately, I think you got to go to like the county, like the county assessor or something like that. But essentially, what it is in layman's terms is where you go and you say you basically if they get under contract or they try to sell it anywhere else, there's going to be a block at the closing table that says, "No, you already owe the property to these people over here." It's almost like a lien, but it's not a certain amount of money per se. It's just the property itself. It's just like you're blocking anybody else from purchasing the property, the title to the property, right? And so we was looking into it. All the while we looking into it, trying to figure out how we can cloud the title, cloud the title, cloud the title. And we had to do it on some other properties, and we were just dealing with so much stuff. Next time we know, I don't know. I look down, look back up, and the property sold. The property got sold. She just sold it to somebody else. And I think she sold it for like I forgot. I remember it got to a point again. Like I said, on one hand, she was arguing that she wanted more money, and on the other hand, she was arguing that she just can't sell it anyway, right? And I'm like, lady, come to think of it, I was thinking to myself, lady, how do I know you're not just saying that because you want to back out of our agreement and sell to somebody else with more money? Which that's also unethical. There's a reason for these agreements, which I don't think she was, because a little bit of time had passed before she sold it. But she did ended up like she waited. She moved back into the property. She sent me a nasty text message, and we were just like, man, whatever. And so we never clouded title. And then like I said, doing all of this work, I'm working on the other deal, working on other. I look back up, and I was just like, let me check on that property. It's sold, and I think it was sold for like, I want to say like 195. I don't think it was 195. I think it was 205 is what she sold for. But 195 or 205. That's right in that range where I was at, and it stings either way. It hurt either way. And to get all that momentum, that was a property we actually had under contract. That wasn't a property opportunity that we missed out on. That wasn't an opportunity that we wasn't close on the numbers and we couldn't make it work out. That wasn't anything like that. That's a property that was money that we had in the air, and it just disappeared because this seller was acting erratic. But most importantly, always look at what you could do better. I did not file a. It's called filing a memorandum, I believe, but that's how you cloud title. I didn't cloud the title like I should, and I think honestly, probably should do that a lot more. Because like I said, that also around the same time that happened to us with another guy. But I don't know if it was the same thing with that other guy. Because honestly, if I'm not mistaken, that other guy, he got us under contract, but we was the second people. He actually had his ex-girlfriend living in the property. And he claims that, or they claim that there was a verbal agreement in place for the ex-girlfriend to buy the property from him at some point, but she never got her finances together. But then when I talked to the ex-girlfriend, they was just like, no, we already have something in writing to buy it. And so by the time he got us under contract, what they were saying was that they already had a contract, which he says it wasn't. He said, she said. And so I don't know if we could. Well, if we'd have filed memorandum and clouded the title before they did, it still would have held up when they go to close. And we look up and the ex-girlfriend ended up buying it. Well, I mean, it's fine. All the best for them. They liked it there. And that place was garbage, trash. And so ultimately, didn't cloud title. Did not cloud title. And a lot of times working with people like that, obviously we do everything virtual. Most stuff virtual. You can't always go. When you're working with somebody like that, it might be best if you can meet that person in person. And I'm not suggesting that, but I'm just thinking about just a couple of little things that we could have done. When you got people like that, if you can meet them in person and they have a real person that they're talking to and they're not just treating you like a voice at the end of the phone, then that lady, the way she was talking and cussing me out and all of that, ain't no way she would have done that to me in person. Ain't no way she would have done that to me in person. And so ultimately, like, if you could maybe, I mean, that would help. But I think the one thing that we could have done, the one thing is to file memorandum and cloud the title. When we know, just in general, you don't want to do that all the time. I don't think that's a good look. A lot of people like to stay away from it because it can cause. It's just much ado, a lot of problems over nothing. But if you see clear as day that the seller's being erratic, then take it upon yourself to say, okay, let me go ahead and file a memorandum. Especially, and also too, I mean, if that was like 100K spread that we had on that property, I think we'd have been, let's file this. You know what I'm saying? We'd have been a lot more hasty to go ahead, file memorandum and file that title and make sure that we're protecting our investment. It's like we was trying to like really fit something and she was being like very indecisive. So, but that's what we can. What do you think some things we could have did better?
I don't know. And that one where the lady was acting crazy, I don't know if it's too much we could have really done. Now, maybe, we should talk to her more to try to figure out what was really going on. Maybe we could have helped her. But another thing we should have done, though, is stayed in contact with her because she went and sold that property.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's just like
Like we
you
should have stayed glued to it. We should have been like, even when things fizz out, stay connected to people. You know what I'm saying? Because those people who looking to sell, it ain't just gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should stay glued to her. Um,
No,
but
that's major. We should have stayed glued to or connected. For example, the other guy that I was talking about, where his ex girlfriend ended up buying the property, he just ghosted us.
yeah,
He was like, he just stopped talking to us. That's
right.
one thing, and that was an interesting situation. But with people like this, whether you got them locked up or not, it's just like if it don't work out, stay connected, stay on them because a lot of times, especially as life gets harder, they just all it is just a matter of them realizing that we were the solution. If you can't just force it in their head, like, hey man, all of the problems that you're talking about, the solution is selling the property. If I'm not able to force or I'm just not good at helping them understand that, then time will do that for sure. And then
Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely.
then that's what it is. So definitely, and that's a tip, just period. That's why they say the key is in the follow up. Follow up is on all levels, whether it's cold calling and just following up with a list of people who just didn't answer, whether it's leads, following up people you got. This is at the acquisition stage, mind you. We got her under contract. We got the buyer in there, the buyer ready to go. We can close ASAP. The property's empty. We can close like TI ASAP. And so you would think that it just when things like that happen, you think, it just fell apart. And I was so focused on the other deals and not paying attention. That was a big no-no. I should have stayed glued to her for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, stay glued to people, man. Make sure you're following up. I mean, we got people right now we've been following up with, following up with, following up with. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's just like, I mean, like I said, we got plenty of people that we follow. We got probably too many people. We probably need to do a better job. Even though we do follow up with people, we could do a better job actually scheduling follow-ups and making sure that we hidden. You know what I'm saying? On like all of them. Even the ones that like Cordero got his notebook, but he missing people up in there. Yeah,
This is a planner. This is a planner, dude.
he
You
got
know
his
what
notebook. Hey, do not keep your stuff on a notebook. Go get Podio. Go get some type of. Hold on. Just wait. Just wait. Go get like when I first started out, I was keeping up with stuff on like Google Drive, writing it down on my, stuff. It's what like what changed a lot with me when I really started hitting. It's like keeping up with every single callback. You know what I'm saying? It's like scheduling every single one of them, notes on every single one. Like that was a big thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you can't keep up with stuff like written down. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but most people is gonna need something like it just sets reminders, just set a calendar, and it gives you something to do every single day that you can go back and hit every single one of them until they absolutely die. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so many people inside of there's so many people that you talk to every day, so many people that you actually need to follow up on that I'm pretty sure like if I thought hard, there's people I need to go back and hit. I'm pretty sure Cordero thought hard. Like there's people that he need to go back and hit that he ain't hit.
I ain't got to think hard at all. There's
Yeah.
people I need to go back and hit that I ain't hit. And this is why I say Byron's talking about Podio, not Google Drive, not enough, all of them. And
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. I'm beyond serious. I use Podio. Podio should be your main thing because Podio is automated.
Or some CRM, something that's gonna remind
Yeah,
you, something that's
yeah.
gonna set you a schedule.
A CRM and it's going to do it automated for you. Like that's what we mean. Like with our CRMs, both mine and Byron's, it's just like if you say, "All right, you talk to somebody," and that's why I'm big. Let's keep all the notes in Podio and all of that. When's the last time? And then you should be able to set calendar appointments, and it sends you a notification right there, right? And so I'm saying use a CRM and use Google Sheets and get you a planner. I'm telling you, dude, it's even with an automated CRM. At some point, when it just gets more and more and more, then it's just like it's overload. Like it just gets so much that stuff just gonna start falling through the cracks. You need all of them, and especially if you're constantly talking to them, you gonna need something to write on to keep notes about that person. And if it's a hotter lead, you need those people. That I use my planner for the hot, like the people that's like, okay, this is somebody for real. This is something, something. And then the people just like, oh, like for example, what's that lady name? The one you called, you actually bought a property from her before,
Oh, Joy Allen.
like a Joy Allen. That needs to be in your CRM, and that needs to be on a reminder, right? But Alvin, he need to be on here. See what I'm saying? He's in Podio, he's also in Podio, but it's gonna be the Alvins in Podio and the Joy Allens in Podio. That's like, oh, we'll follow up with them, and just gonna be like, all right, this just you need to hit them all. But I'm saying like have them all, and also too, don't sleep on the Google spreadsheet. I used that for a long time, and honestly, it was way more simple than my CRM. But I'm talking about use them all. You
Yeah.
will that's use them all because you're
Yeah.
gonna even still you're gonna lose track. And I'm coming up with a better system. And honestly, that's one thing that I let my VAs know that I'm going through an interview process right now. I'm like, I need a lead manager and somebody who can keep the calendar. Just to make sure the calendar is intact. Like that's a part of your responsibility
Yeah.
is to be able to keep the calendar. But I don't think just I think all of them. It's very tough. Like I don't have the
Yeah. But
so I'm just like, oh man, it's like, and you could just spend a day cranking them out, calling. And then what you'll realize is some people won't answer. So it's just like a person that you needed to follow up on once a month, you might need to hit them 3 times this week because they still ain't answered you at all. And then when you hit them, they might be ready to go, or you might need to follow up with them next month. So it's just like it's and you get 10 of those people, and then those people are just like those are like ambient leads. But what about the hotter leads like Alvin? And then what about when a Alvin like a dude who's like an ambient lead, you follow up with them enough until they turn into a hot lead. And it's just like then that person needs so or a hot lead that turns into an ambient lead like Robert. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like I'm telling you, you can't have enough reminders. You can't have enough things. I just do the planner because, and I recently started doing the planner. Like I have when I boost it up to the CRM, that helps out a lot. And you want to have like a calendar and be able to put them on. And the biggest thing for me is just to have the discipline. So it's just like, for example, we own November 1st, but I got people for like mid-November. Like if they tell me to follow up with them 2 months from now, I'm gonna put them on the Podio and I'm gonna go into my planner. And then 1 month from now, I'm gonna say follow up because I always cut what they say in half.
yeah,
But
sure,
you just
sure.
gotta have the discipline to plan it, and
Yeah.
then it's like just showing up.
Yeah.
So I just do everything.
Yeah. My
Very
biggest thing was like, you know, let's say my biggest thing was like, especially for just generally everybody, I may write something down. Like I got a planner. I may write something down in that planner, but that planner ain't gonna jump up and yell at me or make any kind of noise to say, "Hey, look, it's somebody in here that need to be called."
yeah,
Like you know, what I'm saying? But if I put you on my task, Podio got an app. You put it on your phone. Boom. When that time show up, boom, that person pop up on your phone, and it's like it's telling you. You know what I'm saying? It's an
yeah,
alarm. It's like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing at 9 o'clock on December 2nd. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's like boom. Like that plane ain't gonna jump up and yell at you. That Google Drive ain't gonna jump up and yell at you either. You need something that's gonna pop. Like me, I know me. You know, different people may be different, but
yeah,
I'm betting for the most people, especially if you got to keep up with that many people, like especially starting out, like you starting out, you keeping up with the gamut, like you keeping up with everybody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got this person to keep up with this, or that person is dealing with the lower people, or my VA that's keeping up with da 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 da. This VA keeping up with da 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 da. You
yeah,
know, and even with your VAs, like if my VA is supposed to keep up with stuff, I can look on the calendar or I can look and see, hey, you need to set a follow up a task to call back every single lead until they dead, right? So it's like, okay, have you called back all your people from the day? Have you completed all your tasks? You see what I'm saying? So just to being able to see that and me having something that pop like that was big for me. I remember when I went from Google Sheets to that was big. Just setting them every single time, like was big for me when, especially when I was keeping up with everything. It was just too many people. Like I thought at first I could keep up with it in my head. I could keep up with it on the Google Sheet. Like until I set a calendar and was able to just, hey, ain't no thinking. You pull up the calendar. What's up for the day? This person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Call, 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 call. Bam.
Yeah, and that's big too. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's got to be automated, man. And that was one of the biggest thing when I went to Podio too, is having the automation in the task. It should show up as tasks. Here are your daily tasks, and it's just got a list of them. Boom, 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 boom. And so I don't know, man. Does the free Podio? I know the free Podio doesn't have automations, but can you set those tasks and reminders like that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
Is it
straight.
gonna send you the notifications and all of that stuff?
If you put it in your phone, put the app on your phone, and you let your app notify you. You
But
know
I'm
what I'm
saying like
saying?
the calendar task will be like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
free
Yeah.
Podio.
If you put
Yeah,
it on your phone, put notifications on there. The
as
same.
long as you get that, you need that. But I'm just saying, like, for me, is that's why I keep a planner. I only keep the planner for the major stuff. And
Yeah, but you're gonna sit down and pull it out though. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna sit down, pull
every
your
day,
planner
like I'm
out.
gonna look at
You
it
know what I'm
every
saying?
top of the
It's
day.
like Bobby Mack. He go like me when I was doing it. I was at work like 8 early in the morning. I go work out. I do this. I do that. I'm going to work. I'm da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the app was sitting there on my phone. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't have to keep up with no planner. I ain't got to keep up with nothing. Like I ain't got to make sure I pull up my Google sheet. You
Yeah,
know, at one point I was on Google Sheets. You know what I'm saying? At one point I was really writing it down. You know what I'm saying? But like that's what I'm saying was that was a game changer for me. I didn't even know what Podio was, and I was doing deals. I didn't know what Podio was. You know,
dude.
it was on Podio. I'm like, what is the heck is a Podio? You know, until I figured it out. But it
Yeah,
was like it was big just because it allowed me to do that. But even if I couldn't hit that person, I could get somebody else to call them because I had already put it down in there, pop up. I know who need to be hit today. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that's big for people who's trying to get started. You know what I'm saying?
I
They
mean,
ain't like me and you know, who can just, hey, we sitting at our desk, hey, pull open this right here. You know, I got this, I got that. Shoot, they just running around. You know, they ain't used to being keeping up with people. You know, hey, I got this person, I got this person. They just work, they just working. Like I was just working. You
you
know,
for
my regular
sure,
job.
you 1,000% will not be able to keep up with them in your doggone head. So
Yeah,
that's how I
that's what I
question.
thought at first. I like, keep up with him in my head.
Nah, hey,
Nah.
don't sleep on the Google spreadsheet. But the thing is, you gotta be sure to check it, and it's your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I say all three of them is necessary
Yeah,
because
for sure.
more like the Google spreadsheet it has other value because it puts it all in, and it's more like it's like your whiteboard. You know what I mean? It's more like a whiteboard to see this is what we have going on at
And
any
you
given.
can create a whiteboard on Podio too. That I like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like you
I
create
don't. I don't think. Well, maybe in my particular Podio, the whiteboards they don't. It don't have. If you got 10 properties in one or 100 properties in that whiteboard, you got to scroll. It's like I'm talking about having everything where a dashboard is what I'm saying.
yeah, it'll have you can put it in a sheet too. It'll show up like a spreadsheet too.
Yeah, that
You
is
can
another
have
thing.
where
Yeah,
you know it's
it'll
line
show
by
you.
line by line. The reason I like a whiteboard is like I know what stage they at. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I'm
When
saying that's what I put it on. Like
yeah,
I used to put leads on a whiteboard and I would put them in different stages. So I knew, okay, what people over here, what people over here, what people over here.
what you doing scrolling though? You got to scroll. If you got a whole bunch of leads, you got to like scroll over to see who's over here and stuff like. If you, especially if you got a lot of them. But
Yeah,
I'm
it depends on how many categories you got though. because if you only got like 3 categories, you have to scroll down. You know what I'm saying? So you just scroll down to see how many. Now, if you got like 5 categories, you gonna have to scroll over to this side or scroll over to that side. And I guess it depends on how big your screen is. You
how
know,
big your screen is. But if
yeah,
you even if you only got 3 categories and you got 100 leads in
yeah, you
one
have to scroll
category,
down.
that's what I'm
You got
saying.
you just got to format it right. If you format it right, you just scroll down
Yeah,
and you'll be able to see all your leads, and you just keep scrolling. Like you'll see them going down this way and not across that way. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You be scrolling down, so you call them, scroll, call. You know, you just be scrolling down. But if you want to call people, you want to put them. You want to make it sure it's in that spreadsheet format, and you just call them. You just going down the list, just hitting people. Or like I didn't figure out about the dollar you and Keith was talking about till later on, where you could just throw people
yeah,
into that
yeah.
dollar
That's
and just be bum 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 bum.
Yeah, that's a big one. But what I was saying is just like outside of just being able to keep track of your follow ups, like having the spreadsheet, like when I talk about the Google spreadsheet, it also kind of like if we want to like at the top of the week and say, okay, how many leads we got, what's going on, yada yada yada, we can just be like pull it up and you can see like 100 leads at one time or see what's going on. But when you said you could make I didn't know if you noticed on Podio, you could like the way you can pull out like a Google Doc and kind of give you an update on Podio at any point in time. You could hit give me a you can it'll create basically it creates a like to monitor your KPIs. It'll give you like keep track of what's going on, and it'll give you like you can click a button and it'll print out a update of the leads, like a dashboard of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Not in the event that you're trying to follow up with them, but you're just trying to see like a quick pulse check of okay, how many people do I have over here at any given time? How many people do I
Yeah.
got in this area and that area? And so when I found that out, I was just like, wow, that was really the only reason why I would use that I liked the Google Docs spreadsheet is because yeah, the follow ups it wasn't really cool with the follow ups because also too, it's just like it don't send you the task and it doesn't send you the reminders like Byron's talking about. Say, hey, you need to follow up this person. You like I would literally have to go through there and like scroll and see, okay, this person. I would have them color coordinated. So if it was like
Yeah, me too.
follow
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
close,
Yeah.
something like that. And so, but then I would like follow up with them, call them, and then I would have to manually go in there and type change the new date. PO. That's why I got that POA from the plan of action. What are the
Yeah.
next steps? Every lead should have next steps. And so I started putting that in there. Next step, follow up with them in a month. Next step, follow up with them tomorrow. But Podio does that for you. But my favorite thing was being able to see like, okay, if you got them color coordinated, I can look. Okay, we got 10 green, two like yellows, and or whatever.
Yeah. I was doing the same thing. Green, yellow,
I
mark
think
people red, stuff
yeah,
like
red, you know. But what I'm saying is Podio got this thing on there where like if you want something like that, you can go up and just click a button and it'll just give you wow, it just give you like the data right there. Um, and
that.
so
Man, hey, I can't help but to look at this question, man.
there are videos and they all have a different version. Come on, Bobby.
Come
Come
on.
on.
Bobby, man, hey, Bobby, join the community, man.
Yeah,
We gonna say, we gonna tell you right here, but like when you get around us, you know what I'm saying, you just feel it. That's why we tell you to do it the way we're telling you to do it. There would be no confusion.
exactly
There
that
would
right.
be no, I mean, there's really no calculations. It's like, what do we really calculate? Do we do calculations?
What the
Like,
buyer want, we subtract what we want, and then tell the seller.
yeah, that's it, man. It's like all this ARV, MAO, repair calls, and all this figuring out this and cap rate this, da 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 that. Man,
So
no.
I'll let you in on a couple of things, Bobby. Just to kind of give you, obviously, again, that's why we get the buyers first. The buyer tells us what they will pay for it, if they're even interested, what they will pay, and then we subtract our fee and tell the seller this is the best we can do. And then sometimes the seller tells us what the best they can do, and we go to the buyer. You're interested? This is the best we can do for you. Can you come up? It's something to that effect. But as far as ARV, we usually use like rough estimates, like the Zillow estimate, the Zestimate. We all know that that stuff's not dead on accurate. And so we all know, you know what I mean? And so, but we use it. So if the Zestimate is 250
Just a
and we
point of
see,
reference.
huh?
It's just a point of reference, is what he
It's just
said.
a point of reference. And we
Just a
see
point of reference to have some type of ballpark, like
it's the
some
ballpark.
idea. You know what I'm
It,
saying? If we wanted to, we could just not go off this estimate, minimize the property, and just look at the numbers in the area and just say, oh, look like the numbers in the area is around this. That's all we need to know. I mean, just a general concept of what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? What ballpark are we in? That's all we need to know. Like, we don't have to perfectly hey, you 20K off on your ARV. It's like, nah, dude, we ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that's why we're saying just use this estimate. It's like,
you know what else is wrong with that? Because we're looking at it for a ballpark. And so if it's 250 and the seller say, I want 150, then we like, ooh, you know what I
yeah,
mean? We got some meat to work with, something. Even if Zestimate is almost nearly dead wrong, that might end up being a 30K. It won't be a 100K deal. That might be a 20K deal, even if the Zestimate is like stupid crazy. Maybe it's like
yeah,
200 and not 250.
yeah,
That could still be a big deal. But the thing is, every buyer that you end up working with is going to, Bobby, every buyer that you end up working with is going to calculate their ARV and what they think the property can sell different. And every buyer that you work with, some of them is not just trying to flip it and put it on the MLS and sell it. Some of them is just trying to rehab it, and they doing the Burr method. They gonna pull the money out of the property. And so, and when they go get it appraised by their bank to get the money pulled out, every appraiser is going to be slightly, maybe $5,000 in that direction, 5,000 in this direction. And so you spending all your time and headache trying to basically appraise a property and evaluate the real number. It's like you're going to be wrong anyway, because there is no dead on. A property, here's a principle. A home is worth what someone will pay for it. And so if you just go figure out the people who will pay for them and figure out what they will pay for it, then all that other stuff don't matter. And then rehab costs, everybody's rehab cost is different. Everybody's rehab cost is different. Byron's rehab cost is different than mine. What Byron can do a deal and renovate a property for is totally different than what Cordero could do it, than what Richard could do it for, than what Mark Spain could do it for. And so they're trying to, I don't know why people tell you to just calculate these fees, because these are people who's telling you to basically go do the buyer's job. That's not my job to calculate the rehab costs and what you think you can resell it for. That's on you. As a matter of fact, when a buyer gets to asking you, so what you think the ARV is, they're just trying to negotiate with you. That's a sales tactic. I do that to the sellers sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, well, Mr. Seller, you said you want, again, the estimates say 250. They talking about, I want 300. I'm saying, well, Mr. Seller, what you think you can sell it for? 300. Okay, Mr. Seller, well, if you could sell it for 300, then but you know your property needs work and it needs this, and that, and the other, then we can't buy it at that same price. So they might be trying to negotiate with you. It's not your responsibility to know the Zestimate, or excuse me, the ARV. No more is it. If I'm a company, and let's say I work and I sell cotton, and I sell cotton for clothing, right? It's not my responsibility to know what Byron could go sell T-shirts for. It's like, I'm selling the cotton. That's what I'm selling. And so that's the market in and of itself. And then what Byron could buy the dye for the T-shirts, manufacture it, make them, pay for his employees, and then turn around. It's like, I don't have to know all of those things. I sell the cotton, not manufacture and sell the T-shirts. So It's like they be trying to do all of that extra stuff. You don't have to do that. What are the nuances to wholesaling land
Man,
that
that one.
single family or multifamily might not be aware of? It's the same thing, dude. It is
Yeah.
the same
I mean, it may be some stuff
thing.
like I'm saying, like if you talking about like doing surveys, this and that, and
That's like
whether you
saying
talking about
rehab costs.
commercial
If
land,
you
this and
find a
that.
buyer,
The, yeah, the basics are the same. Now you talking about the, if this is an infill lot or is it, this or that. Like there's different types of land that you could be wholesaling. Now you have to go figure that out. Obviously, with I'm not at least a land expert, right? You probably need to go talk to somebody that's a land expert. But the general gist of wholesaling it is the same. Now, what you could particularly do with that land is gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? Whether that land can be built on, whether it cannot be built on, flood zone, whether it's, whether it's zoned to be commercial, residential, all this other stuff that comes along with land, you know, that could impact who you wholesaling it to, is different.
but this is
Now,
what I'm saying though. With your method though, Byron, it's the same thing. Because I've wholesale land. I've wholesale land a few times.
yeah.
It's if you find a buyer, the buyer gonna tell you what
Yeah,
you're
the
looking
buyer still will determine. If you find a buyer, like you find somebody who want infill lots, you
then
know what
they
I'm
tell
saying?
you, listen,
They're gonna
I'm
tell
looking
you they want infill lots, they tell you the size, they tell you what
yeah,
area they want them in, and you go search for that. And then you
yeah,
bring
that's
it to
it.
them. You
It's
know,
the same exact thing.
that's what I'm
People
saying. All the stuff that I was just talking about, you have to figure it out. You go to the buyer, and the buyer solves all those problems.
yeah. I mean, plain and simple, it's just like you would think. I think I was talking to you about this, Jay. It's just like land is the exact same thing. It's just because, well, again, once you find the buyer's going to determine what it is. As a matter of fact,
All
the
the
buyer, I done
details.
had it where the buyer was just like this and that, the other. All that. Uh, I don't know. What do you want to buy it for? And then
Exactly.
I think it was 3 lots all together in a particular area in Clarksville, and I think that was like a 15K deal.
Yeah.
Like all of the lot, like 15K. And I know bro made a killing, but I knew zilch about the type of land it was. I don't even know where it's at, honestly. I mean, obviously, I know the address, but I ain't never been in that area. I don't know what happened. I don't. It's like I just say that to say because I know, especially to a newer person, you would assume, especially if you change your mind that I got to know these things. I got to know about the property. I got to know what rehab costs are. I got to know what ARVs are, and I got to know that. Then you would think that, well, if I'm going to start wholesaling land, I also need to know this and that and surveys. It's like, dude, unless you want to buy it, you don't need to know that. You
No.
go find a buyer who's buying land, and they will tell you everything that they're looking for, and then you can literally go to PropStream or whatever your version of it and say, this is what I'm looking for, pull it, skip trace it, and then just call and then send it
Yeah.
over to the buyer and say, hey, what would you buy this at? And you don't need to know nothing about I mean, I've wholesale land a few times. And I know some people who've wholesale land a few times, but I've wholesale land a couple times. And it's easier, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
just keep it real with you because we ain't got to worry about tenants and going to set up the walkthrough and all of that. They usually just drive by, and be like, all right, I could do this. It's like to me, it's just one less step. It's like getting you in there to property and trying to say this or that. Like I don't. I just think some people think that it's more complicated. It's not.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. But man, we've been on this thing almost an hour, man. Know y'all asking questions. We're gonna answer some more of them. But me and Cordero been talking about this for a minute, man. I know I'm just speaking for me. We want to help some people really get this thing going, man. We talked about like the guru traditional method, finding sellers, and then finding sellers, finding stretch properties, this and that, and third. And we talk about finding buyers first, and then I'm saying that it's 100% bulletproof. Well, I want to help 5 people join the community, and I want to prove to people that it's 100% bulletproof. Like you're going to get a deal, bulletproof, right? So if you're interested, man, like I'm interested, we'll set up the whole thing with you. We'll set it up. will show you exactly what to do. You'll be doing exactly what I've done to make all the money that I've made, and I'm not gonna hold anything back. Like every single thing, the buyers, the system, set everything up, and I just want to prove to myself, to everybody out here, it's 100% bulletproof. It is the darn way, right? It's like it is the way, you know. I feel like I'm John the Baptist or something right now, man. It's like the voice crying out of the wilderness. It's like, dude, in the land of gurus, that they telling everybody to go find the property. We're trying to tell people, look, man, do it a different way. Like, go find the buyers. They got your money in their pocket, and all you gotta do is bring them the properties that they're looking for. So, if you're interested, man, hit me up. Join the community. You join the community. I'll put the link down here. If you join, man, we gon' man. I'm gonna try to push it. Try to see if we can prove, man, this thing's 100% bulletproof. Cordero, how long you think it'll take them to get a deal, Cordero? Say you
Dog,
get lunch troll text 1,000 people a day. We text 1,000 people a day in the area where we got buyers and we're targeting what they're looking for. 1,000 people a day text or call. Let's say we cold calling 4 hours a day. How long does it take to get a deal?
I love that question. If you're gonna do what Byron just listed there,
Yeah, that's
you
the
gonna
only question. Will you do it? Like, that's the only question.
that's it. That's the question. Is
You
are you gonna do what you
know what I'm saying? If somebody actually stick to that, let's
if
say they
somebody
stick to
does
calling.
everything and do they follow ups and text and
Yep.
answer, get on the phone and make time and actually do a month. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about like a month to like really like you got a deal and it's going to the closing table.
Yeah.
It
So
might
now,
you could close a deal in a month. I'll close some deals very quick from the time
yeah, from when you get everything set up. Because the thing is, as soon as you run into somebody who interested in selling, is very possible that you're gonna get the deal. Because just because of the fact that you connected with the right buyers in that area. You know what I'm saying? It's super possible that you're going to get the deal.
right.
So, you know, but yeah, man. So I rarely talk about what we do as far as the community. I rarely talk about trying to help people or mentorship or this, that, and the third. But I was like, man, you know what? I want to I want to show people that this is 100% bulletproof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And just to kind of like reiterate or expound upon that question is just like you understand this is what we're doing to find deals and we're consistently like finding deals and looking for deals. So all you it's just like I'm sure mm, I was about to say I'm sure if I just did what exactly the way, for example, I'm trying to give the prime example. I like watching MMA fights and boxing and stuff like that. But if I did exactly what LeBron James was doing as far as training, his body, his diet, and his regimen, I'm sure I'd be pretty good. It's just like how long before you can start winning some basketball games? Probably fairly quickly because I'm just jumping up to his level. I'm not 6'7". I don't know how to 6'9", 10, 11, whatever. You know LeBron. Y'all know LeBron. But I'm saying if I started training the way he does at that level, then instantly I should start seeing a difference in my outcomes. And so if you go from just how do I do deals? What's wholesale to working with some folks that's doing a thing and just like doing what they do and you actually do it. That's the question. If you actually do it, this is I think it ain't even just about it being easier because ain't nothing easy. It's not just easy, but my favorite saying, as Byron always says, is bulletproof. Like
Bulletproof,
it's guaranteed. This ain't
guarantee.
we're not shooting the dart in the dark. This is not ready.
It's shooting fish in a barrel. It's literally shooting
Literally, that's
fish
what it
in a
is.
barrel.
Fish, you know what I mean? It's shooting fish in the barrel. So it's like you can definitely do it. So I think
It just makes it so
I've
easy,
done
man.
deals where from the time I talked to the person to the time I closed, it was like 14 days, like 15 days, 10 days around there. Like, so I mean, in theory, you could get you a deal stupid fast. Um, um, man, when we get to the quote of the day, I'm gonna give you the quote, and I just want to see if Byron, let me know if you know who said it. You might
I
know.
don't know if I know who said it, man.
You might know.
But I don't know, man. I think it might take you. I would feel comfortable, man, saying that if you prepared for 3 months,
Yeah,
if you said, man, I'm finna do this for three, dude, it's just no way possible you're not getting a deal. You know, what I'm saying? It's just not even a possibility. You know, it's just not
yeah,
even a
yeah.
possibility, man. You know what I'm saying?
I would say real talk. If you do the 3 months, then you know.
You on
But
your way, like you got a business.
what you said?
You got a bit. You do it 3 months. You on your way. You probably will have multiple deals, but
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
just saying by the end of that 3 months, like not only would you have a deal, but you would have a business.
Yeah, you
Like
be on your.
you would have sent properties to buyers. You would have gotten offer backs from buyers. Like you would have done most of the process over and over again and just not finished maybe. But
You
to and
established.
yeah, you established.
Yeah,
So from then on, you would continue to repeat that process over and over. Not every deal, not every property gets to the finish line, but knowing, okay, this is how we talk to people. This is how we get people under contract. This is how we send properties over to get offers. You know, we're going to get an offer back. This is how I negotiate. Like you're going to do all that. You may do that multiple times over the 3 months. And then you may close multiple deals, but you at least close one deal. But just the repetition of that is the business. You know what I'm saying? So you would continue to do that, do it, do it, do it. You're building your business, building your business, building your business. Uh, and dude, I guarantee it's so. Dude, I don't know. Maybe, you will. It's almost 100%
bulletproof.
certain that you will make six figures in a year. Like it's almost 100% certain.
But this is what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, and you're just talking about just like do this and do that, 1,000 people a day. But I'm saying also too, one of my favorite whole concepts around this business that I just think is an interesting part of life is the fact that you could do it's infinite. There is no like
Yeah, there's no limit.
at least. But my thing is, if you get it and you say, "I'm just gonna crank it up a little bit, crank it up more," and I just think that that's so amazing because it's like if you said, "Man, I gotta do a meal a year, I gotta do
Yeah,
10 mil this year, or a year." Once you figure out what to do, once you figure that out, all you got to do is just add the wood to the fire. That's one of my favorite. I just wanted y'all to keep that in mind too. Once you figure it out, it's just a matter about like learning the scaling part. And once you're established and you build the foundation, as long as your foundation is solid, then you can just scale and keep growing. Um,
man, we got big dog Rolex in the building, man. What's going on? Hey, I guess Rolex had to jump on this mug after that Falcons game on Sunday, man. He said, "Man, I got to go jump back on these lives, man. The Falcons ain't doing that this season.
we still
Got
got
beat by the freaking Tennessee Titans, man. We ain't doing that this season. I'm going to jump on these
hey
lives."
Rolex already know, man. That's 10. I'm not gonna call him my team, but by the Titans, man. Rolex. You need to be off in that locker room, dude. Can you see Rolex at halftime?
Oh, he be going crazy on the Falcons, man.
Rolex going wild.
Calling people out and everything, man. He be calling people out.
Rolex be ready to fight off in the locker room.
Oh man, for sure, for sure. But
Yeah,
shoot, man, we've been on this thing hour, almost 10 minutes, man. We finna get out of this thing, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. Shout out to Rolex, man. Shout out
Rolex.
to Jaden. Shout out to Bobby Mack,
Shout
man.
out to Bobby Mack.
Shout out to Bob Mack, man. Shout out to Vince. Bob Mack in the Discord. If you want to get in the Discord, man, Cordero, you want to drop that link? Uh I ain't got the link. Maybe I got the link on me. Let me see. I got that link. Yeah, I do. Let me see. I think I do. I can drop it right here, man. You want to join the Discord, man? We be in there. We'll chop it up. We going We're gonna get you straight up in there, man. You can ask us questions at any time. We ain't gotta be live. I know some of y'all be waiting for us to go live, stuff like that. Hit us
Yeah,
up in the Discord. You know,
yeah,
you got me, Cordero, a lot of other people up in there that's doing deals. Some people who looking to do deals, stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I don't got
I
it.
got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Here we go. Rolex jumping that mug for show. My people on IG. There you go. The Discord link. My people on YouTube. Here you go. Bam. Go join the Discord, man. Y'all go get up in there. Hit us up. Got questions, hit us up.
Please.
Shoot.
And
Yeah,
Bobby Ray
man.
got a question. I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna check your question out, Bobby, and answer that for you. But the quote of the day, I'm gonna give it to you, Byron. Let me know if you who could this possibly have come from? You ready for this?
I think I might be.
All right. Relationships are
Oh man. Dr. Phil?
the no man. Relationships are the currency of the wealthy and successful. Come on, dude.
Andrew Carnegie or something like that.
Relationships are the and that I like
Oh, Grant Cardone?
yes sir. But that did sound like an Andrew Carnegie quote.
Oh man.
That did sound like the way he said it because he usually say like contacts equal contracts. If they don't know you,
Yeah.
look, I'm sure in years they'll refer to them as Cardonisms. But
Yeah, man.
from the 10X mentor, relationships are the currency of the wealthy and successful. Don't
Yeah, for
forget, we
sure, for
talk
sure.
about this all the time, man. It's just like Byron's basically explaining, knowing him, jumping in that Discord, knowing me, talking to somebody like Rolex, like a Keithon or Keith Everett. It's like knowing
Kareem.
that Caritha, whoo, knowing it, like man, literally, like knowing Caritha allowed us to do a deal. Like we just did what a 20K deal.
Equals contracts.
And so but it's the currency though. That's why he always say, "Don't give me $100 million. Give me 100 million contacts," because
Contacts.
it's he understands that a relationship, established relationship, is more than $1. It's more important than any given amount of money because it's a unlimited. Because he understands that people generate energy, generate actions, which generate value, which generate money. And so it's like knowing those people is big. But ultimately, just like don't sleep on that. We all heard that. It's not what you know, it's who you know. But it's what you know and who you know. But don't forget that. But relationships
Yeah,
are the
no doubt.
wealthy and successful, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Appreciate that was a good one right there, man. But shoot, man, finna get out of this thing, man. Appreciate y'all coming through till tomorrow. Tomorrow, Fundamental Friday. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Peace out.
Peace.